So for everyone who's just joining us now, as I said, we are having a little bit of a tour around Puerto Pollensa. So you can see it like you've never seen it before. We're gonna have a look at it like it is in winter, because it's winter now. And a lot of people have been asking me, how is Mallorca in winter? So I'm doing a little bit these tours around the island. We've been to a lot of other places as well, like Alcudia, Playa de Muro, places like this. So you can see it and you can see if it's right for you. As I said, it's not really for a beach summer holiday that people come here, but a lot of people like to ride the bicycles here, cyclists, do sports. There's also retirees who like to come here and spend a couple of months, especially from Scandinavian countries where it's much colder. So for all those people, it's definitely good, because you can rent maybe for a full month here an apartment for maybe 500-600 euros, 700 euros, something like this. While if you go to anywhere else in Spain, where like the Canary Islands, where the temperatures are much hotter, it's going to be, of course, much more expensive as well. And for the people who are just new here to the channel, my name is Yves. I run this channel here on YouTube and also a website called Checked Holidays. So basically the name of this channel, checkedholidays.com, and you come to the website where you can find all my holiday advice about all the places I've lived in Spain, worked in Spain, but also been on holiday in Spain. So if you want travel advice, you can write it now. If you're watching this live, you can write it in the chat, and I try to answer all your questions you may have live in the chat. If you're watching this afterwards, in the rebroadcast of this live stream, then you can always go to the website checkedholidays.com, where you can find all my holiday advice about all the places I've been to in Spain. Richard Tunstall, thank you for joining us. Also to you, any questions you may have about holidays in Spain, just write them in the chat, no problem. I try to answer them. Or if you're a fan of Puerto Pollensa, where we are now, and you want us to go and check your favorite bar, or your favorite restaurant or something like this, how it is in winter, just write it in chat. Willem Pijpers is joining us from the Netherlands, where he says it's cold, wet and rainy. Well, it's for most countries in Europe like that at the moment, I think. But here, as you can see, it's quite nice and sunny. So you can see the appeal for a lot of people. I'm not really gonna go to the beach here because it's quite windy, but it's still quite warm. You can definitely walk around in the t-shirts and shorts if it would not be as windy as it is today. This is a little bit one of the reasons that Mallorca is not so popular in winter. It's because the weather is a little bit more unpredictable. If you really want a hot, sunny weather, then most people go to the Canary Islands, like Tenerife, Gran Canaria, Fuerteventura, Lanzarote, these kind of places. Because now we are in December, really the middle of winter. And this is how you find Puerto Pollensa most of the time in winter. I would say maybe it's a little bit more quiet because it's 2020 and it's a little bit of a different situation, but in general it's quite much like this. people who are a little bit more familiar here, this is one of the popular places in the harbor. We're gonna walk over the Pine Walk, we're gonna walk all the way to the end, past all the nice hotels and restaurants. We're gonna have a look what's open now and what isn't. So you can judge for yourself if it's right for you to maybe come here 1 week or a couple of weeks in the winter. As I say, a lot of retirees who don't necessarily have to go to work anymore like to come here, spend a couple of days, a couple of months in the much more pleasant climate here than when you are like from the north of Finland or Norway or Sweden or anything like this, where it's much colder. But also, as you see, the Netherlands and the United Kingdom, definitely a lot more wet and rainy this time of year. For anyone who's just joining us, we're doing a little bit of a live walking tour of Puerto Pollensa, if you're watching this live. If you have any questions about travel or holidays in Spain in general, especially about the islands. I've been to all the islands, lived on all the islands in Spain, worked on all the islands in Spain, so you can just write that in the chat and I try to answer any question you might have about where to go, what to do, things like this. If you're not watching this live, then you can always go to my website, checkedholidays.com, where you can find all my travel guides about the islands in Spain. So as you can see, it's a lot more quiet as you would normally find it in summer. and especially the beaches here in front of me totally full of people. We're gonna walk there later. First we're gonna have a little bit of a look around here. And of course, if you're coming to stay here in the summer, then you definitely also have to go to the Formentor beach, drive a little bit on the Formentor mountain, go exploring there a little bit. And later maybe we're also going to do a live stream from Pollensa itself, the town. It's very nice to go and visit in the summer, in the winter also. But in summer it can definitely be nice as well. So I'm going to start walking in the direction of the Pine Walk. It's where they have most of the nice houses and hotels here near the front of the water. In Puerto Pollensa, where we are doing like a little bit of a exploring walk around tour. And like always, if you have any questions about holidays in Spain or about Puerto Pollensa or about Mallorca, just write them in the chat and I'll try to answer them. Or if you want me to go a specific place that you like here in Puerto Pollensa, I can also go there and show you how it is in winter. But as you can see, it's a lot more quiet, definitely. But that's also one of the things I very much like about Puerto Pollensa, is that in general it's a little bit more quiet. It's not so mass touristy as some of the other places on the island. And always when I have friends or family visiting here, then they always ask, like, I want to go to that nice place again, the fancy place. And at first I didn't know what that is, but most of the time it turns out it's Puerto Pollensa. And more specifically also a little bit further up there, one of the restaurants there. But yeah, it's definitely different than the way it is in summer. But there is still quite a few places open, so people can sit in the sun, you can relax and enjoy. Someone wrote Merry Christmas. Yes, a little bit early, but we're getting there. It's 2 or 3 days until Christmas, depending on where you're from in the world. I know some people do it 24th, some people do it 25th, and some people do it 26th. Seems to be different country to country. This is normally a lovely place in summer to come and have a drink. They have like a little bit of a pool here, and they normally have like a beach bar well, it's not a beach bar, it's a pool bar there at the ending, some comfortable chairs. Really nice place to come and sit and relax. Have some drinks in summer, but now it's closed. Eva Maria, she is joining us again. Gracias por estar con nosotros otra vez. Estamos ahora en Puerto Pollensa. We are now in Puerto Pollensa doing a little bit of an exploration tour here of Mallorca and how it is in winter. It's quite much how you would normally find it, even though it's 2020 and it's a tiny bit more quiet as you would normally see it. But in general, in winter it's like this. Do they cocktails? Yes, the place I just showed at the pool, yeah, they have some nice cocktails and things like this. Someone wrote in the chat they fancy a margarita. I suppose that's a cocktail then. Or is that a pizza? I don't think I've ever heard from a margarita cocktail. Now I come and think about it, and I worked in a bar for a couple of years, so I'm really not not sure. I think that's more like a reference to a pizza. He writes he wants both. I will check a little bit more of the back streets later, but there's not going to be so much there to see. For now we're continuing our walk all the way to the ending, to where I don't know actually what that is there, but some kind of military domain you can't go into, and then we turn back from there a little bit past the back streets and stuff. Sue Hoort says it looks fabulous. Well, you can always book a holiday here. This year it's a little bit more difficult in 2020. Things are not going so smooth as general in Spain and in Europe. So, but maybe next year do a winter holiday here. Come here for a month, sit, relax, enjoy, have some drinks. As I say, coming here in winter is pretty cheap, because there's a lot fewer hotels open, but the ones that are open, they offer very good deals, especially if you stay here for a month or something like this. Yeah, like 600-700 euros for a month. So for a lot of people who come from the much more colder countries in Europe, that's a good deal for them. But also cyclists and people who like to do sports and things like this, you will find a lot of them here in winter, because there's much less people, much less cars on the road. So especially for road cyclists, it's definitely a good time to come. Sue Hoort went there Last year while on holiday in Alcudia, lovely place. Okay, yeah, definitely, but I suppose that was in summer then that you were here, Sue. It looks very different then. But a lot of people have been asking me, how is Mallorca in winter? Should I come, should I not come? And I think I just better show the people how it is, so they can decide for themselves. There's a lot of advantages to coming here in winter. But a lot of people also seem to think that it's sunny beach weather here all year round. And that's not really the case. Like now it's quite warm, but it's a little bit windy. So it really depends what you're looking for. There's also going to be days here in winter that you can go to the beach. When I was living here before, I remember with Christmas we were on the beach once because it was so nice and warm. But it's definitely not a guarantee. There's also Christmases that it was snowing a little bit, so it's really, it fluctuates, you know, it can really change from day to day kind of. The girl I said to next in the... Man, that's a long username. But do they do Belgian beer here? That's a good question. They do Belgian beer in Sa Pobla. Sa Pobla is not one of these really touristy places. It's like a little bit a town in the back, typical Mallorquin Spanish, famous for growing potatoes. There they for some reason have a Belgian beer bar. But here in Puerto Pollensa, no. Not for as far as I know, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always willing to learn. If you know that there's some place that do Belgian beer here, let me know. For anyone who's new joining us here, my name's Yves. I do these kind of travels around all the islands in Spain, where I've been living, working, and also traveling. You can find all that information if you're interested in traveling to any of the islands in Spain on my website, checkedalldays.com. But if you're watching this live, you can just ask any questions you may have about your holiday in the chat, and I will try to answer them for you. And hopefully it also helps a little bit stimulate travel to the islands again and travel to Spain in general, because this year 2020 I know a lot of people here didn't have a job, they haven't been working, and the funny thing is, I know a lot of people here in summer complain that they have to work too much, but now it's actually the exact opposite, that they complain that they didn't have work. So I suppose that's how it goes. I'm gonna take my mask down a little bit, and I'm gonna stop here under the tree so I can read a little bit of the chat and let you enjoy the view. Because in the sunlight I cannot really see it so well. Okay, let's see what are people writing. Count Barstow, what's up, buddy? Jason or David is your name. I always mess it up. I'm so sorry, Count Barstow the third. Jason or David. But now it's stuck in my head that it's either Jason or David, but I still don't know. I think it's David. No, it's Jason. I get so confused. Terrible with names for the people who are new here to the channel. I'm just gonna say the girl because your username is much too long. Sounds good, okay. So Hood, fingers crossed, I will be back in Alcudia next year. I definitely hope a lot more people can travel here again next year and come and enjoy all that Mallorca has to offer, because it is really nice here. So I hope next year travel can go a little bit more back to normal. The girl just subscribed, brilliant. Hi, is this the Pine Walk? Yes. The Pine Walk is a little bit of a difficult subject because it's where all the expensive houses are. And if you're on the Pine Walk, your house suddenly becomes like 100 or 200,000 euros more. So it's like they always try to extend it a little bit, but the way I understand it, it starts there where the split is in the beginning, and then it continues more or less quite far through, but I'm not really 100% sure. But if you have a house on the Pine Walk, you're normally one of the rich people. Like most of these apartments are like 5, 6, 700,000 euros for a pretty small and old apartment. In a previous life, I worked in real estate here. Let's call it that, previous life, because it's a long time ago. I actually sold real estate in the north of Mallorca. It's interesting, but it wasn't for me. Yeah, it's a very special world, let's say it like that. And I think I'm too honest and have a little bit too much integrity to be working in that world. So this is only why I did it maybe like a little bit less than a year, or just a year or something like this. Okay, so it's Jason. Just think of Jason and the Argonauts. I have no idea what Argonauts are. But I love Mallorca, but too hot in summer and too cold in winter. Then you should come. I think you will have a great time coming in May or June or something like this, or maybe September. These are kind of like the in-between months, and everything is still open. Then you can come here a lot cheaper than in high season. So I would definitely advise you those months if you want to come out. May, June, September. You can find some really good deals. Everything is open on the island, because as you can see in winter, a lot of hotels, bars and restaurants, they close. But if you come in May and June, then the climate is kind of average. It's not super hot, it's quite dry, it's not going to be much rain. So I think for many people those would actually be the best months to come. But a lot of people can't come because they have children, so they have to all come in the high season, which is June, July, August. July and August, I mean. Did that walk with my sister, very classy. Okay. How much is that house there? I have no idea anymore, but like I know I was selling some apartments up here and they were like 5, 6, 700,000 euros, something like this, even though they're really not that nice looking from the outside especially. But yeah, you buy the area, you buy the location. There's Hotel Ile d'Or about 400 yards up ahead. Yes, indeed, is where I usually go for drinks. Under their canopy. Under their canopy, they usually have cool rocking chairs or sits. I think it's open actually, yeah. The Hotel Ile d'Or. Normally it stays open all year round. Maybe this year, because it's 2020, it's different, but I think it's open. Let's go and have a look. Does Michael Douglas have a house here? Not 100% sure about that. I know the big news like a couple of years ago was that Nadal had a house here somewhere in on the other side of the island. But then when I asked people from there, they say like, yeah, he has a house here, but he's never here. So and Katerina Zeta-Jones, yeah, I suppose. I'm not 100% sure about these things. Well, let's walk out here a little bit and try not to go for a swim. Neil Winter says looking good. Yeah, definitely nice sunny sky today, so that's nothing we can complain about. And for as far as I understand, this is Pine Walk, all of this. I think it continues over there as well. For as far as I know, the Iador Hotel there in the distance, that's also on the Pine Walk, but I might be quite mistaken actually, so don't quote me on this. Just to give you a little bit of a sunny vibe to enjoy here for all those people who are in the colder climates of Europe now. Count Badistocky says jump in. No, I'm definitely not gonna do that with all the cameras and stuff on me. Anders, Mallorca is totally magnifique place. It's unique, definitely is. It's really nice. Yeah, as I say, a lot of things close down in winter, which makes it interesting for cyclists and people like this, because the roads were empty, so you can just yeah, you have a lot of place to cycle without any problems, because there's no like rental cars or tourist buses or something, and the island just becomes a lot more quiet and relaxed around this time. Also for like retirees and stuff, they really like it, they enjoy it here. There's certain hotels on the island who really kind of aim for the retirees who come here maybe like December, January, something like this, for like 1, 2, 3 months, just to have a little bit of sun. I've heard from a couple of older people that when they're here they have a lot less pain in their joints. I don't know if that is just in the mind or if that is really physically possible. This I don't really know about, but this is why a lot of people come here in winter normally. Not really for the beach holidays. I got splashed on here. And if you're new here to the channel, don't forget that you can subscribe and click the little bell as well if you want to. And also, if you like this video, that really helps YouTube understand that you like this, so only do it if you like it. And then next couple of days I'm normally going to be doing the same kind of walks in Playa de Palma, let's see, El Arenal, Magaluf, Palma Nova, these kind of places. So if you want to see those as well and want to be advised about them, And do know you can click the little subscribe button, maybe click the bell as well, and give this video a like so YouTube will suggest you these videos in the future. I also recently came from Tenerife like a couple of weeks ago, so we did these kind of same live streams from there. So if you want to see these kind of walking tour videos from a more sunny place, well, more sunny place, more touristy beach holiday place, then you can always go and have a look on the channel to the streams from Tenerife as well. And it looks like the door is closed, huh? I've never seen that before. But yeah, it's 2020, it's a bit of a different year. Let's hope this can get sorted out soon. Because normally, pretty much all the year round, this is the Iador Hotel on the left. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been 3 or 4 years since I've been here, so I hope I get it right. And then out here is like a little, yeah, the club, whatever you want to call it, like a relax area with drinks and things like this. Correct me if I'm wrong, this is the Iador Hotel here on the left, no? Yeah, no, I'm right, Iador is this one. And basically out here they have like relax area, chill area, drinks, things like this. Someone says they like the yellow planes when they take off from the water here. Those yellow planes I think you're referring to are the ones who take out fires. So that's the planes you're referring to. The fire guard planes, or whatever you want to call them, whatever they are called in English. Let's do some more questions here. The girl I think Boris Becker had a villa there, and that was taken over by it was taken over by hippies. Okay, that's a weird anecdote, but okay. Anders, it's a big difference between mainland Spain and Mallorca. Very laid back mentality on Mallorca. Yeah, definitely. The girl, he says he did the bell and he did the thumbs up, so brilliant, thank you for that. Canberra's talk, that's the right one, mate. I didn't expect them to be open. Well, normally they are in winter. Maybe not this deep into winter since it's almost Christmas, but I've seen them open quite late into the season. And apparently they're expanding here as well. They're making like a bigger terrace. So if you come here next year, Jason? Canberra Stoke, then definitely you're gonna have a nice time here on the new fancy posh terrace they're building. Summer Road, can we go to an ice cold beer place? Well, a little bit later on we'll continue doing a little bit of a walk here, and then maybe I'm not 100% sure, I'm gonna go to Puerto Pollensa, Pollensa itself, and do a little bit of a live stream from there if anyone wants to see that. So just write me in the chat Pollensa, 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 Pollensa if you want to see it. And if you don't want to see it, just write no Pollensa. Then we go somewhere else. Yeah. These people here have the budget pine walk. Just park the car. That's also one way to live on the pine walk. So who it says Pollensa. If there's a few more people who want to see Pollensa, the old town, then write me and then we go there as well after here. And we see how Pollensa is in the winter. But if you're not interested, then write no Pollensa and then I go somewhere else. And here behind, I don't know what it is actually. It says Zona Militar, so military area. You cannot go past here. But then there's houses standing there, so I don't quite get that. So let's walk a little bit here in the back. Someone says Pollensa, Pollensa, Pollensa. Oh, it's so annoying because I don't really want to do Pollensa because I know a lot of people there. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna bump into one of them with all these cameras strapped to my body. It's gonna be weird and I'm not gonna have seen these people in like 3 or 4 years and then you have to do the entire story and yeah, but okay. If you want it, write a couple more times Pollensa in the chat. If I see a couple more times, then I will go there. Okay, Pollensa, and again, if we can get 10 Pollensas in the chat, then I will go there. So I'll cut in here and a little bit back to the more kind of touristy streets or busy streets. For now we have to walk this area a little bit past the front of the Iador Hotel. Pollensa times 10. No, that doesn't count, man. It kind of looks open, but I think it's because they're doing changes here to make it better for next year. I think they're updating it. Now there's not so many people. The Iador Hotel is one of these famous names in Puerto Pollensa. Someone wants to go to a Belgian bar. Well, maybe you can go to a Belgian bar when I'm in Belgium. For the people who've been following me here longer on the channel, I was supposed to go to Gran Canaria, but because of all the changes and that there's no more flights allowed from UK and stuff anymore, that seems to be a little bit on hold, and now I'm not 100% sure when I'm gonna go to Gran Canaria. I hope I can go somewhere February, March at the latest, but we have to see how things evolve in the next couple of weeks and months, because it seems to be changing all the time. So yeah, I suppose because a lot of people asked for it, I suppose I'll be going into Pollensa later and we do the 365 steps and have a look around in Pollensa itself. I think in Pollensa will be also a little bit more busy because it's more like a well, Puerto Pollensa stays quite busy in winter as well compared to some other places on the island where it's just tourists. Here there live quite a few people, but in Pollensa itself it's definitely more local people living there, but also a lot of foreigners who buy property there. So normally more things stay open there in winter. So yeah, for now the plan is let's continue our walk here in Puerto Pollensa, and then after that I'll make a few phone calls and then we'll head into Pollensa itself to go and see how things are there. So if you're interested in watching Pollensa, most likely it's going to be like an hour from now. I'm gonna be there and we're gonna have a look around there to see how things are. Yes, we're going up the steps. I'm going up the 365 steps apparently. You people are just gonna sit in the sofa and watch it. Isn't that like a great deal for me? I want to go a little bit on the beach here. Baba. Babak Sadeghi says hi Eve, hi Babak. It's one of the easiest names here on the channel to recognize. Babak has been with me since I think the first stream I ever did from Tenerife, or at least one of the very first ones. Which one was this? This was maybe a month or 1.5 months ago or something like this, and it was just something I was trying out, but people really seemed to like the streams, so this is why I kept on doing them. It was a little bit of a it was not easy to get everything set up and stuff the way I wanted it. In the beginning it didn't look good, and I know for the people who are watching this live, they're seeing the live stream and quite often my tablet comes in the screen. But don't worry, I also have another camera, a better camera with a better microphone, higher quality picture and more stabilized. And this I upload later. So for the people who are watching this live stream later, they're actually seeing like a better version of it. But for the people who are watching this in the live, of course, we can interact, we can talk, we can have a little bit of a chat. So That of course also adds a little bit of extra value, but for those people, they see my tablet come in the screen quite often. Someone says it's good I'm going on the steps because I need to stay fit and healthy. The steps in Pollensa, for people who don't know, there's like a lot of steps going on the mountain, 365 I think it is, going all the way up to some kind of a chapel up there. And in winter they also have like the procession coming down from there, from like the Easter, no, that's Easter procession. When is that? March or something like this, March, April. Yes, but Bucky's been with us for a long time. Hey, they're gonna have a picnic. Nice. Looks cozy, a little bit of picnic, you see? Come Baristocky says he needs to go. Same to you, Merry Christmas. It's gonna be tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I don't know quite how you celebrate it, but yeah, indeed, Merry Christmas to everyone in the chat here, even though it's a couple of days from now. Now I have to focus a little bit. I think it's this street. I can go in the back a little bit and we can see how things are there. Or maybe it's the next one. I think this one further. Yeah, I think it's one further would be better. Bobak. Great name, easy. Can definitely remember that one. gonna scoop in here. There should be like a market square here in the back somewhere as well, but I don't remember exactly what street it is. We'll have a look there. There's lots of restaurants and bars and stuff. How it is this winter, I'm not 100% sure. But let's go and have a look and find out together. What's the temperature? Actually, I don't know quite for sure. I think it's around 15 degrees. But today's a little bit windy. So because of that, it feels not really so warm, but it's not cold either. Just all the Mallorquin you will see, the local people you will see with scarves and thick jackets because they're used to the really hot summers. But it's this way. It's been such a long time. I hope I still remember where it is. I think it's out here somewhere. If there's people who know Puerto Pollensa who come here every year, let me know a little bit, guide me. Where this little square is with the cathedral or the church. Somewhere here. But it's been 3 or 4 years since I was last here, so things change. I suppose they didn't move the church or the square, but I just mean things look a little bit different. Trissa Hurskainen. Let's most likely finish. Head to the light, someone says. That sounds very weird. Where is it? I'm so confused now. I worked here for so many years. Well, now it's been such a long time since I was last here. I don't find it anymore. Or am I thinking about something that's in Pollensa and not Puerto Pollensa? No. It must be somewhere here. Yes, she's from Finland. Finnish is by far one of the hardest languages I had to learn. It doesn't make any sense. Swedish was so easy to learn, but Finnish is like, yeah. It's just you have to, there's no way of understanding it. You just have to learn the word and then say that word. At least that's the way it felt to me. Is it here? Here it is. Here on the left you have the Mulligans. Yeah, now she's writing Kilian. I don't speak Finnish that well. I can just do the counting. Can say some nice words, can say some bad words. In Swedish it's just very different. Swedish I understand much more complete. Having a little bit of a market here. Few drinks. Buy some nice fruits, vegetables, clothes, a little bit of everything. So flowers. Now I have to watch out a little bit walking around these markets with the cameras, because in Tenerife I had a few problems with that before. It's not really, I didn't have a problem with people who were selling like illegal stuff. They were having a problem and with making that my problem, but it's not my problem that they're doing illegal things. So I'm doing everything according to the law. I'm filming in a public place, what I can see, so that's just fine. You can see there's quite a few places open still, even though maybe not as many as it would be normal, but 2020 is a little bit of a weird and a different year. So just so you know, this is 2020, so if you come here normally there's a few more people, a little bit more to see and do and things like this. So full of olives. At least we found a little market square. I thought they built over it or something. Or yes, the perkele I do understand. This is one of the first words you have to learn in Finnish. Puerto Pollensa Mallorca. I was living here before, but not anymore. But the person I was renting my apartment to, she had a little bit of a problem paying the rent, and she's a good friend of mine. So we made a deal, like I come to Mallorca for 1 month, you go 1 month away and you don't have to pay rent. And I use the apartment a little bit, have a little bit of a sunny holiday. I can make some movies from here, you know. See some friends I haven't seen in like, when was the last time I was in Mallorca? Maybe 1 or 2 years ago. So yeah, that's the bit of the backstory. I lived here for many years. I lived basically on, lived, worked or traveled on pretty much every island in Spain. So this is also why I started making this channel, because a lot of people started asking me for holiday advice to some of these places. So you can find all of that here on the channel, Checked Holidays, or on my website, checkedholidays.com. Yeah, so you can sit outside, enjoy the sunshine a little bit, relax, have a couple of drinks. It's totally fine. Van Berstock, welcome back. Speak a little Swedish, please. Anders, varför vill du som jag pratar svensk? Jag tycker inte som den är så väldigt bra nu. För jag har inte pratat den för mycket tid. Jag tycker som den var bättre 2, 3, 4 år in the past, you know. Men jag kan förstå svenska, jag kan prata den. Men jag kan bättre förstå den. Också norsk, jag kan förstå väldigt bra. Men inte prata norsk så bra. Ja, den är lite svensk av mig. Så jättebra, Anders says. I suppose if I can get a thumbs up jättebra from the Swedish people, then my Swedish is not so bad at the moment. So. A fancy chicken. What are these people writing? Someone wrote a fancy chicken and fries with mayonnaise or coleslaw or both. I'm easy to please. Okay, it's a very random comment. Or Swedish meatballs with lingonberry jam. Then you have to go to IKEA. They got you covered there. If you want the Swedish meatballs, you need to go to IKEA. Yeah, I'm actually planning on this summer, Anders, to do a little bit of traveling in Sweden as well. So hopefully get to practice my Swedish a lot more. I want to basically drive the entire coastline up to the north, and then basically take the other coastline back down through Norway. Most likely, but let's see if it's possible this year to do that. It was actually planned for this year, but this year I did Switzerland instead. Yeah, this is also something I do for the other channels I build on YouTube. I have a lot of different channels on YouTube. This is not the only one. This is only about Spain and things. So if you look in the description, actually I think there's a link to my other channel as well, where you can see more travel guides from Switzerland, Italy, Germany, France, Belgium. But it's not complete travel guides. It's just basically walking tours. You get a little bit of an impression of how things are in places there. It's more like travel inspiration, I would say. It's not really a travel guide as I make them here on this channel. Crown Butterstock, yeah, you will see my pimp car in just a second. I rented a car from today because I'm leaving in a few days, and that's just the best way to do it. The last week I rent a car, I see some friends, I see some people. I'm a little bit more mobile then, and then I just drive to the airport and I leave the car there, as is agreed with the rental car company. And it's really quite cheap. I have it now from Wednesday till Sunday with the full insurance. I pay like 84 euros, which is okay. It's like 5 days, so like 15 euros per day or a little bit more with the full insurance, so you don't have anything to worry about. I rent with Van Rij. It's one of the companies I normally, well, most of the time rent with. Not always, but quite often. So yeah, and this is also going to give us the possibility to, the next couple of days, also go and do these kind of same walking tours from Playa de Palma, El Arenal, Palma Nova, Magaluf, these kind of places. So if you also want to see those kind of places, don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel so you get informed about these videos next time as well, when we do more live streams. Because if you like and you subscribe, then YouTube understands a little bit like, oh, they want to also see the live streams because they like this one, and then they push it out to you. They give you like a little bit of a notification, or they are more likely to give you a notification. Yeah, the cars are quite cheap here in winter. You just have to know which companies to rent with, and I really believe that renting a car on a holiday can add a lot of value to your holiday. So pretty much everywhere I go, I always rent a car, but you just have to look out a little bit, because there's a lot of these kind of like tricky companies, and they can basically rent you the car for like 1 or 2 euros per day. But then when you come there, you need this and you need this, and your insurance is not valid, and an upsell, and like all this kind of stuff. So if you want to see my car rental guide to the Spanish islands, just go to checkedholidays.com/cars, and there you will see all the things to like kind of watch out for, and control, and which companies to rent with, which companies not to rent with, this kind of thing. It's a little bit of a guide I wrote, so checkedholidays.com/cars, a little bit of a guide I wrote for people who want to rent a car here on Mallorca or Tenerife or any of the islands in Spain. But most of the tips there also work for like pretty much the entire country. Oh, that's a little bit confusing, because I thought that was the road, but no, this is the road. And here in the back you have also like actually I should have walked there maybe. Should I walk through there, show you a little bit of the nature reserve? Let's do that. And then we'll drive to Pollensa. So let's say maybe 45 minutes from now, if you're watching this in the live stream, we'll be going live from Pollensa, the old town, the original town. Not the beachfront like this one is. Let's see if I can find my way to the nature park here in the back. Let's have a look here. Bargain for car hire. Yeah, it's quite a good deal. I waited a little bit too long, because before it was cheaper, but I was not sure about the weather, so I was not sure if I was gonna rent a car or not. Have you met a nice lady friend on your travel? Well, no, not in Mallorca at least. I don't know what you mean with that question actually, but no, in Mallorca there's only old Spanish ladies at the moment, so I'm not gonna walk into anyone here. Just curious, is the old train from Palma to Soya running? Well, it normally is. I'm not 100% sure if it is in winter. It's kind of like a touristy train. So yeah, from there. Anders asked me, what is my favorite place in Spain? It's so hard to say. It's almost impossible, you know, like pretty much with every place in Spain I have some kind of, because I work there, because I live there, at least on the islands, not on the mainland so much. It's impossible to say. If you're looking for the best place to stay, just go and have a look at my website, because for every place, like Tenerife, I have like where to stay in Tenerife, where to stay in Gran Canaria, like this. It's different from person to person. For me, I like Mallorca, I like Menorca as well. But for me, I always very much like the capitals and things like this, because it's more like Spanish, Mallorquin, authentic, if that makes sense. And most people coming here on holiday, they want to be more near the beach, you know. But I like yeah, the more somewhat real places, like Las Palmas in Gran Canaria. I was blown away by the first time I came there. I love that place. Really nice beach, but then still like a big kind of like busy town behind it. And then the same with Santa Cruz in Tenerife. It's also kind of like that. I don't have that same kind of feeling with the Palma here so much. Here on Mallorca. I like better places like Palma Nova, where I worked for many years. But also Cala Rajada, where I also worked for a couple of years. So it's more like, for me, it's like associated with like, yeah, you know, you associate certain places with certain memories or experiences and things like this, and this is most of the time why I like a place. He's gonna buy me an ice cream when I come to the top of the steps. I don't really think there's an ice cream shop there at the moment, but yeah, we'll go to Pollensa now. We go up the steps. I think we have some time left. It's only 1:30 here, so yeah, definitely I will have some time left. Let's see. Did I keep in touch with the McMaster? No, not really, because it was really fun to meet the guy. It was really nice. Well, we wrote a couple of emails up and down, but like it's not like we're homies or something at the moment. He's a nice guy. We had a little bit of a collaboration when I worked in Tenerife. It was nice. He showed me a lot of stuff about the live streaming and things that I didn't know, so very much thankful for him for that. For the people who don't know who the McMaster is, he does something similar to what I do, but then on the what am I thinking of? He does something similar to what I do, but then basically on Tenerife, but he also goes like other places than that. So but he also does more like sketches and funny bits, and like we talked about this a little bit. I think my channel is more travel advice, and this is more is like yeah, like a vlog, like a sketch, like some kind of entertaining things, stuff like this. I'm getting lost here, am I not? Oh no, I'm not. So yeah, nice guy. He had some sad news recently. I hope he's okay. He went back to the UK now, and I saw some of his vlogs from there, so he seems to be okay. He seems to be doing good, and I hope he continues like that. So, and I'm sure if he's in Tenerife next time, we're gonna do the collab again, or some collabs. And if he comes to Mallorca and I'm here, then definitely we would do it again, but well, otherwise I don't keep in touch with him so much. But I said to him, if he comes to Mallorca and if he needs some tips or tricks, he can just ask me, and we can do like some collabs and stuff from here. Yeah, signal is a bit cracky. Yeah, I know. I get the issue here as well. I think it's because my camera is getting a little bit hot, maybe. But yeah, we'll continue a little bit further, and then I'll stop all the recording for a second, drive to the Pollensa Old Town, or Pollensa as most people call it, and then we'll go and walk up the stairs there a little bit. So I hope you can join me for that. That's gonna be like maybe in yeah, half an hour, 45 minutes from now. So David Hirschfield, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you as well. From a more sunny, you write it's quite wet and rainy where you are. Here it's much more sunny, as you can see. So I hope you can appreciate these nice sunny Mallorca vibes. Which way should I be going now? This way, no? So David Hustfield, thank you for joining us. I think you're just joining us now because you're just writing in the chat now. We're doing a little bit of a walking tour of Puerto Pollensa. You can always watch this later as well, but for now we'll continue this tour, and then after this we're going to Pollensa, which is like the town there, and we're gonna walk up the 365 steps all the way to the top. So you can see Pollensa as well, and not only Puerto Pollensa. Pollensa, definitely, if you're staying in the north, definitely a place worth visiting as well. Definitely also in summer. David Bowen, it's much more summer than here in Aberdeen, Scotland. Yeah, definitely. Count Barristoke, thank you very much for the super chat. Is this for the ice cream you promised me when I go and do the steps? Is this like a prepayment on the ice cream? In that case, thank you very much. I'll use it for an ice cream or something to drink. I may not be there, so that's for the ice cream. Okay, yeah, and Merry Christmas. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to everyone in the channel as well, even though it's 1 or 2 days from now, depending on the channel you are from. Sorry, the country you are from. Some people do it 24th, some 25th, some 26th. It's always different, no? So definitely thank you once more for the super chat. It is always very much appreciated, but as I mentioned before, you don't really have to, but if you like to, then definitely it helps me a lot on this channel, especially now in these days when the income from this channel, this used to be part of what I would call my full-time job, but now in 2020, recently, the views on this channel has gone down a lot because people are not planning on traveling. Also to the website, the bookings are a lot down, so for that, all the like moral support, but also like this kind of financial support that you're giving me now, it's much appreciated, so thank you very much for that. And continue a little bit here. And for all the people who don't, for all the people who would like to support the channel, this link isn't in the description yet, but you can also go to patreon.com/checkedholidays. It's something new I started, and if you do a little donation there, then you also get some like perks and behind the scenes and a couple more live streams and stuff. It's all explained there. So if you would like to do that, you're always welcome, but definitely never feel obligated. Also, just liking, sharing my videos definitely help me out a lot, and subscribing to the channel doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps me out a lot as well. So if you like to donate, feel free. You don't have to. Just subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos with other people, so we expand our little audience here on YouTube. Also definitely help out a lot. So always a pleasure, mate. You're doing us a service by keeping our spirits up, so thank you. And here we come to the Puerto Pollensa beach again, after our little walk through the little park there in the back. And this is also where we first started from, more or less, with our live stream. So I want to thank everyone who joined me today for this walk, for walking with me, leaving some chats. If you left a super chat, thank you very much for that as well. Do know you can always find all my holiday advice on my website, checkedholidays.com/ where to stay in Spain, but just go to checkedholidays.com, it's the easier one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're watching this live, I'll see you again maybe half an hour from now, when we'll do another live stream from Pollensa, and I'm gonna climb the 365 steps as well. So if you want to see that, me doing that with my mask on, it's gonna be interesting. 365 steps. So thank you for joining me. See you in a little bit.